Hi, it's Roma and welcome to my kitchen. And today I'm going to teach you how to make pumpkin muffins. These are light and fluffy. They're super delicious. I can make either 2 loaves of pumpkin bread, 24 regular sized muffins, or about 11 large jumbo muffins. So today I'm going to make the large jumbo muffins because that's what we eat here at Casa Barba. Also, the great thing about this recipe is that I can interchange a gluten-free flour, and the one that I use most often is Cup for Cup, which is abundant here in Los Angeles. The other one is Bob's Red Mill gluten-free, and it's a cup for cup. So if it calls for a cup of flour, regular flour, you can switch out a cup of either of those 2 flours. I put it in, not told my family. They did not know the difference. So the recipe is tried and true. I've made it for a few decades, and it's gonna make your house smell like fall. And now that we're in fall, you want it to smell like that all the time. So let's get to baking. So here's all the ingredients that I use to make my loaf or muffins. You've got sugar, you've got flour, you also have, this is a gluten-free cup for cup flour that works great. You've got your olive oil. I use olive oil, or you can use a canola oil. Olive oil works great. You've got your baking soda, baking powder, 4 eggs, your can of pumpkin, and then you have your spices. You've got your cinnamon and your nutmeg, and I love to put cloves in there. It's a really nice nutty flavor. And then you've got your salt and your sugar. So those are the basic ingredients. And then I'm going to use the jumbo size muffin cups, and this will make about 11 of those. Okay, so first we're going to get all of the dry ingredients together, and I like to use a little sifter here because sometimes you get lumps of flour or you'll get like a lump of a spice, and it's really hard to get it out even with the mixer. So I add all of my dry ingredients into this sifter, and as you can see, I'm going to use my whisker, and that'll get my whisk, which will get all of the little lumps out. And it'll just make your texture fluffier because it's all about getting a fluffy muffin. So then I'm going to add my salt, and that's fine. You can add, you can use Celtic salt, sea salt. I use Himalayan salt. You're going to add your baking soda, and then you're going to add your baking powder. Sometimes I find there's always lots of lumps in baking powder, so I just put that through the sifter. And next up, we're going to have our nutmeg, and if you have fresh nutmeg, that's even better. Cloves. I love cloves. Cloves have a very pungent flavor. Not a lot of people are in love with cloves, but I love them. It adds a really spicy, earthy, pumpkin spice quality to your muffins. So I'm just going to mix up the dry, and once that's all incorporated, I'm going to set that aside, and then I'm going to mix up the wet. So you can see it's really fine, the flour, everything's fine. Next up, we've got our sugar, and we're going to add some eggs and then our oil to that. Now, a lot of people cook with canola oil. I do not use canola oil. I don't buy it. I don't like it. I don't like the way it tastes. I only ever use avocado oil or olive oil, and while olive oil is a heavier oil, it still tastes delicious in baked goods. I've never had an issue with the heaviness of olive oil. So I mix all of that together, the olive oil and the sugar. Next, we're going to add the eggs. Now, if you wanted to just half this recipe, you can, because you've got 3 cups of sugar in there and 4 eggs. And if you just wanted to make 1 loaf of bread or 1 tray of muffins, you could do that. I'm using 1 can of canned pumpkin from Trader Joe's. It tastes even better if you make your own pumpkin, but that's another video for another day. And I'm just going to mix all of this together with my hand mixer. Now, some people will whisk this whole thing together and not even use an electric mixer, and that's fine. You can do that as well. I've done it both ways. And now you're going to add half of your dry, and you're going to mix all of that up. Be sure to get the flour that is on the side of the pan, because sometimes you can get lumps in that as well. Add the rest of it, incorporate all of that in. Now with this mixture, you're also going to add water to it, and it's just part of the recipe. It's going to make it more moist, and you'll see me do that. Mix all of that up so it's nice and incorporated. Now I'm going to pour all of this into a pour spout mixing glass jar that I use, or a mixer. Gosh, I can't even talk today. The reason I put the mix in this measuring cup, it's a glass measuring cup, not a glass jar, is because it's just easy to pour. And this is more of a liquidy recipe. You'll see a lot of bakers that use a scooper, but it's too wet for a scooper. So I use the cup because it's just easier to distribute it throughout the muffin cups. Now sometimes I make 11 jumbo muffins. Sometimes I make 12. It just depends how generous I am with pouring it in. So these are jumbo size muffins. That pan is from Sur La Table. You can get it on Amazon, or you can get it from Sur La Table. Other brands have it. Oh look, I've got a little more for my 12th muffin. And I use the jumbo muffins because they're just a really easy grab and go for people in my household. They'll grab one, you know, running out to work out of the fridge and pop it in their lunchbox. So now you're just going to throw these in the oven. And what's nice is that both of these jumbo size trays fit side by side. So I can cook a dozen or bake a dozen jumbo muffins all at one time. Aw, she's waiting for her muffin. My sweet little Daisy. She's just the cutest. Okay. Let's check these out. Okay, I put my little tester in, it's clean. They're ready to come out. Aren't they beautiful? Look at the domed tops on them. That's why I fill them so high. But they really are delicious, and the whole house smells amazing. It's time! They're ready! And of course I had to let them cool for a minute because they were like hot potatoes. But while they were cooling, E swooped in and already ate one, so he couldn't wait. But look at they're just like soft and they smell heavenly. This is like the epitome of pumpkin spice season to me. I love pumpkin muffins. So aren't they just beautiful? Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and eat these, or at least just eat one, we'll see. And I hope that you make these. And if you do, drop me a message below. I'd love to hear how you're gonna make them or what you're gonna put in them. You can also put in raisins, walnuts, whatever you want, chocolate chips. The world is your oyster with these muffins. I just like them plain because to me they taste like cake. Look at that. The texture is so soft and fluffy. I'm all about the fluffy. So thanks for joining me today, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye. To get my recipe, click the link below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that bell for future updates.